sending emails, checking in with clients, coming up with creative ways to provide solutions for them, coming up with creative ways to provide sort of like gifts for them in the place of being able to do actual entertainment. Usually I'd be taking them out to lunch or dinner or going to workout classes. So have to kind of get creative with maybe some virtual gifts of either at-home workouts, or I was thinking about sending people masterclass gift cards and different things like that.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that it's really difficult for you to get working because you really don't want to face your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how much resistance do you have on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like the most resistance to coming up with like creative ways to provide or doing a specific task? Like, is there a specific thing that you like need to get done that you haven't been doing?
Yeah, just like client outreach.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you think about doing client outreach, like what is there resistance there? Like what comes up for you?
Yeah, there's some resistance. It just is like, it's like boring. Or like, I know I want to do a good job. So like I keep like waiting for the time when it's like I have the energy or like the desire to actually sit down and do great work hits, even though I know that that's probably not going to come. I should just do it instead of like waiting for the perfect moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is there an emotion associated with that? It's boring and I should just do it.
Yeah. Like dread.
Dread. Yeah.
Well, it's not like I dread it. And I just am like, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite way to use my energy. It's also, I know as like a projector, not the way I'm necessarily built for providing like for my best use of myself, I guess.
Yeah. And when would you like to have done this client outreach? Like is there a deadline that you have for yourself, or ideally when would you like to get it done?
Well, it's ongoing, but
It's ongoing.
Yeah, this morning I should have done a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you'll do some this afternoon or later today?
It's already like after 3, so I probably will maybe just do like send a couple quick emails this afternoon, but probably I'll wait till tomorrow morning to really like sit down and do like a big batch of like sending messages and stuff.
Okay, so I just want you to imagine tomorrow morning you get up and you sit at your desk and you have all these client emails to send out, this big batch of client outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Is it dread coming up, or is there another emotion?
No, I feel optimistic. Like when I imagine it, like I imagine I can sit down and I have my coffee and like I'm ready to go. So I can imagine and feel like the positivity of that hypothetical, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any resistance to knowing that tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll do that, even though it's not your favorite?
Yeah. I mean, there's some resistance. I guess like I can't figure out if it's like the real resistance just comes from me like just like not wanting to do it or if it's like if I'm sitting and sending these emails by myself at home, it just is like another reminder that I'm not like having fun or like visiting my clients in person. I'm just alone.
Mm-hmm. And which of those two is like most intense when you talked about it just now? You can't figure out if you don't want to do it or if it's just a reminder that you're not having fun and you're alone.
I just like don't want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Don't want to do
Terrible. Does that make me so terrible? Oh.
And how intense is this don't want to do it feeling? Do you feel it anywhere in your body right now?
Well, my back is really tense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also like just feels like a sigh, like a hunched over kind of like.
Okay. And 0 to 10 on this like hunched over feeling, this like sigh.
Just like feels like it's just bitch work. Oh. Like a 6.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to start there, Maura. So go ahead and start tapping on the side of your hand. And I just want you to feel your feet on the ground. Yeah. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. And just really notice that tapping on the side of your hand, feeling the percussions reverberating through your arm. And just push your feet really hard into the ground, feeling that tense up throughout your whole leg, and then relax. And then do that one more time, really hard into the ground, and then relax. Okay, so if I say something that doesn't sound true, you'd like to say it in a different way, something else comes up, you just let me know. This is your session. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Even though, just imagining tomorrow morning I have to send out a big batch of emails.
Just imagining tomorrow morning I have to send out a big batch of emails.
I just don't want to do it.
I just don't want to do it.
It feels like a hunched over feeling.
Feels like a hunched over feeling.
It's bitch work.
It's bitch work.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though I just don't want to do it.
I just don't want to do it.
When I imagine waking up tomorrow morning and sending a huge batch of emails.
When I imagine waking up tomorrow morning and sending a huge batch of emails.
I accept that I'm feeling this way.
I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though I just don't want to do it.
And even though I just don't want to do it.
And it feels like this hunched over feeling.
And it feels like this hunched over feeling.
It's bitch work.
It's bitch work.
And I just don't want to do it.
And I just don't want to do it.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now.
Top of the head. I just don't want to do it.
I just don't want to do it.
Thinking about those client emails I have to send tomorrow.
Thinking about those client emails I have to send tomorrow.
I just don't want to do it.
I just don't.
I just don't want to do it.
I just don't want to do it.
It's bitch work.
It's bitch work.
I just don't want to do it.
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 Okay. Go ahead and take a deep breath. That feeling, I just don't want to do it.
I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. Is it still at a 6 or did that change at all?
Changed a little bit. I feel like just saying it releases so much of that tension, just saying it out loud over and over again, and it starts to lose some of its pull on you. So even though I still don't want to do it, it's a little bit less resistance. Yeah. Already down to like a 4 or 5.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what are you focusing on when you're saying I just don't want to do it? Is there a particular aspect of it that you're really like of sending those emails?
That I don't want to do or that I'm like thinking about while I'm tapping?
Both.
Yeah, I think it's like actually what I realized while I was tapping is I don't like thinking that I anticipate being met with resistance, and this is something that's like a ongoing theme for me. Like I never want to be a bother to people, and of course I'm in sales, so like what are you gonna do? But I never want to be perceived as like either insensitive or pushy or oh, I don't want to hear from her right now. And so I think I'm blowing up a little bit of that in my mind for sure.
Okay. Is there one particular client you have in mind that you really don't want to send this email to because you don't want to be a bother to them, or is it just in general?
It's in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And this feeling, don't want to be a bother, is there an emotion with that for you?
It comes down to just like my need for love and acceptance. But yeah, so it's like either almost fear of embarrassment or fear of not being liked, and therefore being alone, which is ironic because that's very much what I am right now. We all are.
Yeah. So this fear of embarrassment not being liked, just for in regards to sending those emails tomorrow, you don't want to be a bother. How intense is that fear on a scale 0 to 10?
Well, I know I can rationalize some of it away, but it's still like a 5 or 6.
Okay. Is that showing up anywhere in your body right now?
I'm playing with my nails. I'm realizing, but it is that tightness in my chest again, when I think about, like almost like I'm gonna get like very flushed in my chest or in my cheeks.
Okay, so go ahead and start tapping on the side of your hand. Okay. Even though I'm feeling this tightness in my chest, it's almost like my chest is going to get flushed. Does that sound true?
Mm-hmm. Like my cheeks are flushed and my chest is tight, I guess.
Cheeks are flushed and chest is tight. Okay, and I'm just noticing this.
Yeah, and I'm just noticing this.
And even though I can feel my cheeks getting flushed and my chest getting tight,
when
I think about sending those client emails tomorrow, it's a fear of embarrassment and not being liked. And I accept that I'm feeling this way. And even though, just imagining sending those client emails tomorrow, there's this fear of embarrassment. I don't want to be a bother to people. And I can feel it in my cheeks and in my chest. And right here, right now, I'm okay. Top of the head. My cheeks are getting flushed. When I think about sending those emails tomorrow. This fear of embarrassment. Because I don't want to be a bother to people. And I'm just noticing how my cheeks and chest feel. I don't want to be a bother to people. I don't want to be a bother to people. Just imagining sending those emails out tomorrow. Go ahead and take a deep breath. How's that feeling, the fear of embarrassment, of not being liked in regards to sending out that batch of emails tomorrow?
Yeah, it's better.
Better, yeah. So did it go down a couple notches, or what would you give it?
Yeah, I'd say it's gone down a couple notches. I tend to feel just like a sense of like kind of calmness, and almost that I have more resolve after I've gone through just one round of the tapping, which is like a very comforting thing, of course.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So is there still some embarrassment there, fear of embarrassment, fear of not being liked, despite it having gone down a little?
Yeah, I think just like maybe a little bit left for sure.
Okay. All right. And is there, what's preventing it from being a 0, do you think?
I think just like I can still, in my mind, I imagine like clients seeing an email and like rolling their eyes or something like that, or saying, oh, I don't want to deal with her. Mm-hmm. I'm still able to do that mental exercise, even though it's definitely not like a positive visualization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there one client that you think that they would do this, that you can imagine in your head, like maybe it could be them?
Yeah, I don't know. They're one of my clients that I'm actually very good friends with, keeps popping into my mind, and she's not even somebody that I need to email tomorrow. So, but for whatever reason, and like her face is like representing this whole thing.
Sure. Okay. So we'll go with that. Okay. Yeah. So just, I want you to imagine, just as you have been, that particular client who is your friend, you're sending an email with, what would you send an email to tomorrow about your outreach? Like what would be in the body of the email?
The body of the email would probably say, hey, I know things are a little crazy right now, but I just want to check in and see if there's any way that I can be helpful to you at this time. And also let you know that, things are still business as usual for us, and we're here for you to put together any type of strategy that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so just imagine her opening up that email.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And are you seeing her roll her eyes and be like, oh, I just don't want to deal with her?
No, because I don't actually think she would do that.
Right. Yeah. So is that like a conscious thing, but like subconsciously you're kind of like, there's still a bit of worry there that might happen?
No, I mean, even just like having the conversation with you, I feel how much that's just me. That's just an ego. That's just my ego, like creating this narrative.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Right.
Is that okay? I hope this is still good for demo purposes.
No, you're fine. No, absolutely. So so I just want you to imagine another client, just randomly, the one that you're actually going to send that email to.
Yeah, got one.
Got one. Okay, cool. And the body of the email, like you just said, and do you think that when they get that email in their inbox, they're going to be like, oh, I just don't want to deal with her? Is there still that like little bit of fear that like maybe they might do that? Okay. Yeah. And how intense is that fear, 0 to 10?
Like a 4.
Like a 4. And is that showing up anywhere in your body right now?
It's all my stuff is always like very much in a tightening chest when it's like a fear type thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So side of the hand. Even though I can feel this tightening in my chest.
Even though I can feel this tightening in my chest.
Just imagining sending that email to that client.
Just imagining sending that email to that client.
And when they get it, they're going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And when they get it, they're going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now.
Accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though I'm feeling all this fear in my chest.
And even though I'm feeling all this fear in my chest.
Like a tightening.
Like a tightening.
Because I'm imagining sending that email.
Because I'm imagining sending that email.
To that client.
To that client.
And they're going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And they're going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And even though I can feel this fear like a tightening in my chest.
And even though I can feel this fear like a tightening in my chest.
Just imagining sending that email.
Just imagining sending that email.
And they're going to say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And they're going to say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
Top of the head. All this fear in my chest.
All this fear in my chest.
Just noticing this fear like a tightening in my chest.
Just noticing this fear like a tightening in my chest.
Side of the eye, this fear.
This fear.
That client is going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
That client is going to roll their eyes and say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And I feel this fear in my chest.
And I feel this fear in my chest.
This fear.
This fear.
That client is going to say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
That client is going to say, ugh, I don't want to deal with her.
And I can feel this like a tightening in my chest.
And I can feel this like a tightening in my chest.
Collarbone, go ahead and take a deep breath here. This tightening in my chest.
It's tightening in my chest.
I can feel this fear like a tightening in my chest.
I can feel this fear like a tightening in my chest.
Go ahead and relax. And just notice if that fear has changed from before. Did it go up, down, or stay the same?
It feels good. I feel like I started having like positive visions actually while we were going through, and almost like these ideas just came to my mind. So I feel better.
Good, yeah. So would you say that the fear is close to a 0 or a 1?
Yeah, it's close to a 0. It's interesting too. I guess I'll just call out like when we go through the tapping, I almost go into a similar mental space as I do if I'm having like a really good workout, which for me, like when I go to a spin class that I really enjoy, since like there's not anywhere else you can go, right? You're strapped into the bike. Like I tend to have really good ideas during those types of classes. And that's kind of how this felt too. And different things were kind of popping into my mind that weren't just me focusing on the fear.
Wonderful. Yeah. Do you want to take a couple minutes to jot down your ideas?
I actually do.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it, because you don't want to lose it, right? Wonderful.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Because you'd mentioned your creativity earlier.
Hey.
You're good. Take your time.
Okay, I'm good.
Wonderful. Awesome. So Mara, just want you to imagine tomorrow morning, you wake up, you go to your computer, you have your coffee, and you have to send out those big batch of client emails.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any resistance that you're feeling at the idea that you have to do that?
No, I'm kind of excited.
Yay! Wonderful.
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay. And does it still feel like you have to like trick yourself to start working?
No, I'm not. I don't. Because at the end of the day, like I know that I want to just be helpful and still be myself, which is like a positive person who just wants to like provide a little bit of happiness in the day. And I know I can still do that. I just have to adjust.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. Good work, Mara. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So you mentioned, was there anything that came up during those tapping rounds that you wanted to address in terms of like, it was another thing creating stress, or we can go back to what you had mentioned in the beginning, like your mom being a nurse and Richie's boss being tested for Corona, being alone.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm happy to like kind of swap it up in that sense, and maybe like focus a little bit more on some of those things that are like the unknown, that are definitely outside of my control. If I can just like riff for a minute, if you don't mind. Like I did yesterday on Sunday, I woke up kind of early, and I ended up doing like a really long human design call with one of my old mentors from work, and she really enjoyed it. And we had a great brainstorm at the end about maybe how I can provide some services to her whole team at work. So like there's an opportunity to get really creative and work on that as well while I have this time at home. So I want to make sure that I am using this time effectively and sort of like looking at it as a blessing, even though it's, you know, not a blessing really overall. So there's that, which is exciting, but I think it's like, it is going to be an adjustment. It's only been a few days for me, since I got back from my trip, but as this week starts to go by, I think it's going to be, I'm going to have to find ways to really energize myself, being somebody who gets their energy from other people.
Okay. And what do you think is going to, like, when do you think you're going to hit that point where you're just like,
Maybe like Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, do you have some ways that you could energize yourself?
Well, what I've been doing is like a lot of FaceTimes, which has been great, catching up with people in that way. So there's like never a shortage of people to call or FaceTime, which is really nice. I've been cooking. I've still been exercising, which is really important. So I have to like keep myself honest about definitely exercising, because that does keep me sane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do you think will happen like by Thursday or the anticipated date when it kind of all starts setting in? Like, what do you think, how will it manifest for you? How will you know that you've hit a wall, so to speak?
I think if I'm just feeling like lethargic and not a lot of motivation to do anything, if I'm like not feeling inspired to like actually like cook food or really like move around too much, and I just like I get at this like sense of being like itchy and just like needing to leave my house.
Mm-hmm. And is that something that you're feeling right now when you talk about it?
When I talk, I'm like rubbing my legs right now. Yeah, when I talk about it, it's like that kind of like skin crawling, like itchiness, like because I am typically out of my house so much.
Mm-hmm. And is there an emotion with that itchiness, that skin crawling feeling? And there doesn't have to be.
Not really. It's just sort of like a general like angsty anxiety a little bit, like just like wanting to be, I don't know. There are silver linings with it, right? Like there's no action to be a part of right now. Like I can't even have FOMO because there's nothing to have FOMO about. But just like, yeah, it's sort of this like nebulous, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there some place that you want to go right now? Like if you could, if like there was no like restrictions.
Oh, it's snowing. So no, I'm actually fine in my house right now, but like I'd love to just like go out to dinner. Initially Richie and I were gonna have my friend and her boyfriend over for dinner, but now we're calling it off because it's just like doesn't feel like the right thing to do. So like I just want to see a friend and sit on the couch together and have a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna start there. Okay. Even though I have this sense of being itchy,
I have this sense of being itchy.
I can feel it like a skin crawling.
I can feel it like a skin crawling.
It's like an angst.
It's like an angst.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add about it?
No, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I just want to be able to go out, or how would you say it?
Because I just want to socialize and be free.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And even though I just want to socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize and be free.
And I feel this itchy feeling, this skin crawling angst.
And I feel this itchy feeling, skin crawling angst.
Because I can't go out.
Because I can't go out.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though I can feel this itchiness, this skin crawling angst,
And even though I can feel this itchiness, this skin crawling angst.
Because I just want to go out to dinner or see a friend.
Because I just want to go out to dinner and see my friends.
Just want to socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize and be free.
And I can't do any of that.
And I can't do any of that.
And I'm just noticing how this makes my body feel.
And I'm just noticing how this makes my body feel.
Top of the head. This itchy feeling.
This itchy feeling.
This skin crawling angst.
This skin crawling angst.
I just want to socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize.
I just want to socialize.
And I feel this itchiness.
And I feel this itchiness.
Like an angst.
Like an angst.
Because I can't go out.
Because I can't go out.
But all I want to do is just socialize and be free.
But all I want to do is just socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize and be free.
I just want to socialize and be free.
Go ahead and take a deep breath. How was that round for you? Did anything come up?
No, just saying those things out loud, though, I hope not. I think feels like I'm being really selfish, but I'm not. It's just this anticipation of the being trapped. But I know it's all for the best.
Mm-hmm. This anticipation, like, are you talking about like by Thursday you'll really feel like, oh, I can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere, yeah.
Okay. And so that anticipation for Thursday, I'm trapped. Is there an emotion with I'm trapped?
I think there's like several emotions.
Yeah.
Like kind of fear, sadness a little bit, kind of just like melancholy.
Yeah. And are they all kind of blending into one, or can you differentiate if the fear is more intense for you or the sadness or melancholy?
Yeah, I think like the fear is also just more existential, just about like, then I start thinking about my mom. I start thinking about Richie's boss. I start thinking about, just the world. And the melancholy is much more just like personal, because I can even feel melancholy if I worked from home 2 days in a row, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get back to the office so I can be with people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a truly personal thing.
Okay. So side of the hand. Even though I'm anticipating that on Thursday, I'll really feel like I'm trapped. And it makes me feel all this fear and melancholy. And I accept that I'm feeling this way. And even though I feel all this fear and melancholy, just anticipating that by Thursday, I'm really going to feel like I'm trapped. And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now. And even though I'm feeling fear and melancholy, because I'm anticipating that by Thursday, I'm going to feel trapped. And I accept that I'm feeling this way. And right here, right now, I'm okay. Top of the head. This fear and melancholy. By Thursday, I'm going to feel trapped. Yeah. Just anticipating that by Thursday, I'm going to feel trapped. And I feel this fear and melancholy. I'm going to feel trapped by Thursday. Anticipating that by Thursday, I'm going to feel trapped. Go ahead and take a deep breath here. And I can feel this fear and melancholy. Just anticipating that by Thursday, I'm going to feel trapped.
Just anticipating that by Thursday I'm going to feel trapped.
And go ahead and do the finger points. Perfect. Good. Take a deep breath here. Good. And then pinky. Good. Side of the hand. And then back of the hand, I want you to tap between the groove. Perfect. Between the fourth and fifth fingers. Good. And then go ahead and close your eyes. And then open them. And what I want you to do is keeping your head still and moving only your eyes. Move your eyes hard down in one direction to the right. Yes, good. And then back to center. And then to the other side, hard down in the other direction. Good. And back to center. And I want you to move your eyes in one big circle, pretending like your nose is the center of a clock. And you want to see all the numbers. Good. And then go in the other direction. Good. Perfect. And back to center. And just hum a few bars of happy birthday. Good. And count backwards from 25 to 20.
25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20.
And hum a few bars of happy birthday. Good. Top of the head. I'm anticipating that by Thursday I'm going to feel trapped.
I'm anticipating that by Thursday I'm going to feel trapped.
This fear and melancholy.
This fear and melancholy.
By Thursday, I'm going to feel like I'm trapped.
By Thursday, I'm going to feel like I'm trapped.
This fear and melancholy when I think about that.
This fear and melancholy when I think about that.
Did something just come up for you? No, you're good. Okay. Feeling like I'm going to be trapped by Thursday.
Feeling like I'm going to be trapped by Thursday.
By Thursday, I'll feel like I'm trapped.
By Thursday, I'll feel like I'm trapped.
And I can feel this like a fear and melancholy.
And I can feel this like a fear and melancholy.
This fear and melancholy.
This fear and melancholy.
Good. And go ahead and take a deep breath. How was that round for you?
That was good. I feel like I got some perspective. I feel grounded. I feel very fortunate. I'm thinking about Richie, my husband, because he had to work today. So I'm just like thinking about, I had a moment of like realizing like how lucky I am to be in my beautiful house and have all this space here, especially when like I know that he would rather be here and safe than having to be out and about all day.
Yeah. So when you think about that by Thursday, you might feel like I'm trapped. Does that still feel like by Thursday this might happen?
No, I think like, no, I have things to do. I have things I want to do. I'm comfortable. I have like an endless amount of resources for entertainment. So no, I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah. Do you still feel like you're going to have to find different ways to energize yourself?
Yeah, I think I know I will, but I think that I also know that I can find them and I will have them.
Is there, assuming that the fear and melancholy were 10s before, we didn't get, that's my bad, I didn't get a starting measurement for you. But is there, how are they doing this fear, this melancholy, just thinking like this, I'm trapped feeling? Are they zeros or what would be the number?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel good, honestly.
Good. Okay. Okay. Good, Mara. So we're just going to go ahead and close up. Is there anything else that came up for you that you'd like to share or?
No, I just hope that things get better.
the side of the hand. Yeah. And did that just, what came up for you just now saying, I hope that things get better? Was there an emotion with that?
Yeah, it's really just about, the people that are in harm's way, for sure. So there's still that level of fear there with regard to that, I think.
Mm-hmm. And before you had mentioned that your mom is a nurse, so when you say harm's way, is that kind of like what you're talking about?
Yeah, definitely her. And also just like my grandmother being totally alone, Richie's grandmother being totally alone, Richie's boss being definitely in harm's way because he's in the hospital right now. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I just want you to visualize all those people that you mentioned, your mother, your grandmother, Richie's boss, and where would you like to put all of them in a safe place? It can be like on a different planet or, you know, in a box or like a cute container, you know, just somewhere that they're safe, you
Okay.
know.
Like a nice, like fancy little pouch.
Exactly, yeah. And where is this pouch? Is it on planet Earth or is it?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe just like in space.
It's in space, yeah. And does this pouch have a color?
It's golden.
It's golden, yeah. Is there anything else that you're aware of about this pouch? It's golden, it's in space.
Mm-hmm. It looks very much like one of my jewelry pouches.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Even though I'm just hoping that things get better.
I'm just hoping that things get better.
And I'm putting all of those people,
I'm putting all of these people,
my mom, my grandmother, Richie's boss,
my mom, my grandmother, Richie's boss,
and all the people that are in harm's way.
and all the people that are in harm's way.
And I'm putting them in that golden pouch.
And I'm putting them in that golden pouch.
And sending it into space.
And sending it into space.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And even though I'm hoping that things will get better.
I'm hoping that things will get better.
I'm sending all those people that are in harm's way in that pouch in space.
I'm sending all those people that are in harm's way in that pouch into space.
And all of my feelings that go with it.
And all of my feelings that go with it.
Just sending it all into that pouch.
Just sending it all into the pouch.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And even though I'm putting all those emotions and all those people into that pouch.
I'm putting all those emotions and all those people into that pouch.
They're safe in space.
They're safe in space.
And right here, right now, I'm safe.
And right here, right now, I am safe.
Top of the head. I did a lot of good work today.
I did a lot of good work today.
I made a lot of progress.
I made a lot of progress.
And I'm choosing to honor my body.
And I'm choosing to honor my body.
For going on this journey with me.
For going on this journey with me.
Just choosing to send loving gratitude to my body.
Just choosing to send loving gratitude to my body.
I'm choosing to be loving, patient, and kind with myself.
I'm choosing to be loving, patient, and kind with myself.
In these uncertain times.
In these uncertain times.
I know that I have things to do and things I want to do.
I know that I have things to do and things I want to do.
There are a lot of things I can find that will energize me.
There are a lot of things I can find that will energize me.
And I'm lucky to be in my beautiful house.
And I'm lucky to be in my beautiful house.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
And I know that I can still be myself in the face of anything that comes my way.
Yeah. And for the rest of today. I choose to be loving, patient, and kind with myself.
To be loving, patient, and kind with myself.
I choose. What else do you choose, Mara?
I choose patience. Mm-hmm. I choose gratitude.
Yeah.
I choose positivity and perspective.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and take a deep breath here. Good. And go ahead and relax. Yeah, and feel your feet on the floor. Good. How are you feeling?
Relaxed.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Maura,
Oh,
for
thank
offering to
you.
do this.
Oh my gosh, I'm